Notes, the ChemLab roll and write game, is basically, and what they're not necessarily saying on here, is it's the roll and write version of a popular game called Compound It, which is, I'm not talking about that game today, but I want to be clear that I think Compound It is a very good game. I like it a lot. Lab Notes is a roll and write version of that. I'm less excited about it, but here's how it plays. Hey, this game comes with a pencil sharpener and pencils. You're going to have a sheet of paper, and you're going to roll dice equal to basically one more than a number of players in the game. And each player is going to be drafting these and writing the element on the board. And then the last element that's left over, everybody's going to get. You can trash elements, although that can start fires in your area. And when you have fires, you're going to have to cross off whole sections. But what you're trying to do is you are trying to make these cards in the middle. The game starts with 2, but more will show up as time goes by. And each of the different sections that you make will have bonds, which is the number of lines that you draw in between things. And those bonds are going to be worth points. The more bonds that you have, the more points. These triple bonds are worth the most. And you are trying to make your tools here. Each player will start with 3 tools. There's different kinds of tools, but each are the same. When you make it, you can start ignoring things like a lab fire, which might show up from the deck of cards, or something here that this prevents no cards from being moved, because when someone finishes one, they move, and you're going to score extra points based on where they are. The one closest to the deck will give you points. And when one person finishes their sheet and fills everything in, then you're going to score points here at the end of the game. You'll lose points for sections that you burned. You'll get bonus points from the note cards that you finished, points that you've connected, and you'll get a total score. And whoever has the most points is the winner. Lab Notes, and I'm going to compare Lab Notes to Compound It in some ways, because Compound It and Lab Notes have the same kind of thing. Oh, there's fires that might show up in your thing when you flip over a fire card and things. But everything in Lab Notes is just more random. And while there is randomness in Compound It, there's charming and ways to mitigate it. Not a lot of ways to mitigate it here. I found the scoring of this to be really wonky, especially if you're starting to build stuff and the card closest to the deck and you just have some stuff set up to do that. Gives you 6 extra bonus points, which in this game is a lot. And it also just feels chaotic. You're like, ooh, I'm building this thing, I'm almost there. And then someone scores a card in the middle, and then the card you were trying to do goes off the board. And then you have a bunch of these elements here, and there's not a lot you can do with them. And just the dice rolling, it's your turn to draft first, yay. And then the one you want, it doesn't come up. I just found it to be too much randomness. I get the science. The science is fine, and the idea of putting the elements together, I like that concept. I just didn't think it really worked in this game. I didn't find it to be that much more interesting than other roll and write games. And it looks neat, has an interesting theme, which brings it up a little bit, but at the end, it's just a 5 out of 10.